First of all, let me just welcome everybody here this morning. And it's a great day. I love it when the sun's covered by the clouds there, and we've got an opportunity to be here in the outside area without burning up in the heat. I do want to take a second to welcome and say our appreciation to everybody who has an impact on these young boys and girls and men and women that are out here in this formation. Today is really the end of the National Teachers Appreciation Week. And there's two people that have an incredible impact and influence on our young boys and girls and men and women. And that's teachers and faculty, and it's moms. Now, dads, I know you're a little disheartened me to say that, but it is actually moms and teachers and faculty that really have the greatest impact on our young kids. And if you wouldn't mind, let's join in giving all of them a warm welcome here tonight. It's my honor to introduce to you a mom, a soldier, an educator, a wife. She's really probably best summed up as a pioneer. You have a little biographical sketch on her, but I just want to point out a couple of quick highlights in that for you. She's among the first classes of females that ever attended the United States Military Academy at West Point and graduated. She would go on to become a military police officer and serve in the United States Army. She would learn to somehow balance or manage between being a mom for 3 young girls, a wife, a soldier, a commander of soldiers. She somehow managed to pull all that together and make it happen, and that's always a wonder in of itself. She was the first female battalion commander to ever serve in the Georgia National Guard. And as you know, the Army Georgia National Guard, composed of just over 11,000 soldiers, she became the first ever commander who was a female to command the Georgia Army National Guard. She also became the first female in the history of the Georgia National Guard to pin on 2 stars. She would go on to serve as vice president for operations at Kennesaw State, and now continues to selflessly serve, helping to young boys and girls who don't have a high school degree to find a way to put them back on the path to get the education that they desperately need in today's world. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Major General Maria Britt.
All right, good morning. I'm enjoying this great morning today as well. Hello to everybody back there. Hey, can you hear me all right? Okay, good. How about this side? We good? Okay. I do the thumbs up a lot with my soldiers and my kids. Thumbs up. Okay. All right, well, good morning. It's a privilege and an honor for me to be here to honor mothers and to share a few leadership thoughts with the young leaders before me here today. What a sight. This is just amazing. It's very inspiring. General Caldwell, thank you for inviting me to be a part of this heartfelt, patriotic ceremony. I truly appreciate the honor. I wouldn't be standing here before you today if it hadn't been for my own supportive family, and especially my parents. This October, they will be celebrating their 60th year of marriage. And I know for those of you standing out in the field, that may not mean a lot, but I think for the crowd on either side of me, that means a lot. 60 years. My dad refers to their time spent together as a life sentence. And my mom lovingly corrects him and calls it a death sentence. So depending on your perspective, I think they're both right. I asked my dad recently how they make it work all these years, and he confided in me that actually early on they split up the decision making. He told me he makes all of the big decisions, and my mom makes all of the small decisions. And then he paused and added, yeah, but your mom decides which decisions are big or small. Early on, I felt a calling to be a servant leader. I was actually in my teens when I realized that I wanted to serve a greater good, and I turned to the church and thought about becoming a nun. I was attending Catholic school. I thought I'd make a great Mother Superior. I loved the musical sound of music. You know, how do you solve a problem like Maria? I mean, it just worked. But in 1976, Congress authorized women to attend the service academies. Think about that. I mean, you would have thought the sky was falling in. Women at the service academies. Well, my dad sat down with me. He's a U.S. history teacher. had a long conversation with me about the wars that our nation has fought, the importance of military leadership. And he told me, he said, Maria, I think you can do this. He said, you're the cut that we're gonna need in the military. So I was 17 when I donned my first uniform and went to West Point. And before I continue, I wanna let the cadets and students out there, if you need to just take it easy, relax a little bit, that's fine. I don't want to see anybody falling out. I'm only going to be talking about 25 minutes, so just relax a little bit. There you go. In the Army, we say at ease, but here we say just take it easy. All right, there you go. Stretch it out a little bit. I don't want to see anybody falling out. So after 28 years of military service and raising 3 talented and soulful daughters, I am proud to admit that being a mother has made me a stronger leader. Living the warrior ethos applies at home and on the battlefield. I will always place the mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit, and I will never leave a fallen comrade. That's exactly what moms do every day. By another title, mothers are servant leaders, and I suspect a few are even saints. I didn't realize how hard it was to be a mother until I became one. I appreciate my mom more than ever and look forward to our daily phone calls, especially now she has a smartphone, so she likes to do FaceTime with me now. It's pretty cool. Speaking of my mom, when I look at her at the age of 81, I realize how we are more similar than different. She role models so many of the leadership characteristics I embrace as a military leader and as a mother. She's a pit bull when it comes to her family. She's loyal and fights for what's right, but she'll tell you in a second if she thinks you're wrong. I learned the importance of the golden rule at an early age from her. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And one of the 5 leadership principles that I included in my personal philosophy in a book that I'm about to release, I've included the golden rule. It's really about showing empathy as a leader, holding people responsible while still respecting them as a person. Having studied military leadership for years, I discovered that the greatest and most respected leaders, both men and women, lead with a mother's heart. So what is a mother's heart? It's brave. It's unyielding. It's a heart that always places the well-being of her children ahead of her own. It's a heart that's never off duty and never takes vacation. A mother's heart sacrifices for the greater good of her family, constantly nurturing and appreciating the differences in her children. Of all the roles I have had the honor to serve during my 28-year military career, being a mother has made me the proudest. My closing challenge to you is this: live life and lead others with a mother's heart. Happy Mother's Day to all of our moms in the audience, and congratulations to our graduates. Go Army, beat Navy. Thank you.